Yeah, so here's the now this is the tooth on the right side, but you can see here, look at the roots are split and the sinus literally goes in between the roots of the
That's
teeth.
the right side of my mouth?
That's the right side. Now this side, you had the teeth extracted. You can see there's really not a lot of space if you ever wanted to. I mean, there's no way to put an implant in there. They have to do what's called a sinus lift, where they actually take the membrane of the sinus, which is like a rubbery lining, and push it up and put like a bone grafting material in there. But that's, now you're talking about freeze-dried cadaver bone
No way.
But there's one area where I can see that right here. I don't like the way the bone looks right here. Can you see how it's kind of a darker, kind of a space in there? And I mean, this is all stuff that there's no way you would see this on conventional X-rays.
Right.
So I would probably like to show that to my oral surgeon. They are not big believers in things like. Sarah's gonna join us. That way
Sure.
That way after we're done talking, if there's any appointments that need to be set up or
Sure.
anything needs to be done,
Yeah.
she'll know.
Awesome. I like to work with the teams.
So we're just talking about how that area that the bone does look, it doesn't look like it, and sometimes that happens after you do an extraction. If you don't get proper bone fill, you can actually have a space there where you get granulation tissue or something instead of good solid bone fill. And I'd love to show this to the oral surgeon, have him go through this and see if
It's weird because occasionally I'll get something that comes out of that area that looks like a small piece of granular bone. I'm not kidding you. It comes. I mean, I don't know if it's possible that would work its way out, but I'm just telling you.
Well,
I've shown it to my wife, and she's a nurse, and she's like, "The heck,"
and sometimes when you're doing an extraction, there'll be like little points, and sometimes from the force of extracting a tooth, a piece of that bone will crack, and now doesn't have any vascular supply, so it'll actually kind of get necrotic over a period of time and work its way out. So that does happen after extraction. Sometimes people go, "Oh, it feels like a tooth is growing back," and a bone spur will work its way through the tissue. So we actually do see that quite a bit. Now here, this is a cross section from the top, and you can see here's the sinuses right in here, and right in here, it just looks like there's some kind of a bony defect. This is all sinus, and then here it gets a little bit. There's a little bit of mucus or something in there, but this right here is actually this is all supposed to be solid bone, and I can see there is an area that's not filled in properly. So I think what I'd like to do is send the scan over to the oral surgeon, let him take a look at it, and then see if he's, because a lot of holistic dentists will go in there. You've heard cavitations and they call them Nico lesions.
my cavitat from 2.5 years ago.